Oh my god. Oh my god. Boom. Hi, welcome to my new channel. I really have no idea what the channel is going to be, but I had an idea the other day. I'm in my bedroom, I have all of my shit set up in front of me, and I have my Starbucks like a true YouTuber. I guess I could complain about like how great you guys are, how many videos I have to make. The idea is, I love playing with makeup. It's super fun, but so much of the makeup that I see today is super feminine, which isn't a bad thing, but sometimes I don't want to be super feminine. I like to flex in between like feminine energy and masculine energy. And I've been like playing around with makeup for like last year, 2 years, trying to kind of figure out where my space in it is. And I've come up with some, I think, interesting looks that aren't super feminine, that are actually pretty easy to do. I mean, the last thing I want to call this is makeup for men, because like, ugh, it's like skincare for men, where it's just like a cleanser in a black bottle. Like, oh my god, my balls got bigger. Going into Sephora is really overwhelming. Everybody thinks I'm somebody's idiot boyfriend. And in general, I love my makeup guru girlies on the internet, but they're doing like cut creases and cat eyes, which isn't really my vibe. I'm gonna walk you guys through them and kind of like what I do. And this is like makeup for dudes, makeup for anybody, makeup for non-feminine people. Literally, wherever you fall on the spectrum, maybe this will be interesting. Also, you might notice, I need to call attention to it, I literally shaved off like half of my eyebrow last night. I went to a rave, and that's going to be the final look that I do, but I've given myself like slits in my eyebrows before because, you know, gay. But I was nervous doing it for some reason, and this one's kind of fine, and then this one, I like cut it, and then as I was pulling away, I turned and just literally took off my eyebrow. So at some point, at some point I'm gonna have to fill that in. Look number one. The two palettes I'll be using today for all of these looks is the Nimya by Nikki Tutorials palette. I actually really like it. I just wanted to support her and her brand. So we have that sucker. It's got really pretty glitters in it. And then this is one that I got at sale at Morphe. It's the Lisa Frank palette. And the packaging's insane. All of these are like actually flattering tones, because I feel like a lot of rainbow palettes are primary rainbow, and that's pretty in the package, but it's not really pretty on your eye. Like Sister Charles, it's all pressed pigments in his palette, and it's like fine, but they're kind of hard to work with, you know, unless I'm not like an artiste. So the first look that I'm going to show you guys is literally just putting something on the lid. I'm taking Mr. and Miss Tutorials from Nikki's palette, and I'm literally just going to put it in the center of my eye. Not on the inside, not on the outside. I don't want to like create a shape. I just want to give my like lid some like pizzazz. And this, I mean, doing anything with glitter is a little ooh, but most of the time people won't super notice. They'll just notice that like light is reflecting. And even if they do, it's a cool shadow. And like boom, all of a sudden I'm elevated. I'm gonna like rub my eyes raw making this video. I know that we're not supposed to use like makeup wipes, but like I'm not washing my face every time I do that. There's this shade called Ver, and it's intense, but boom, pack it on the middle. This is a pal. This like makes a lot of impact, but oh my god, oh my god. Oh god. Okay, well, literally just dropped the Nikki's palette on my leg, so now I have like the whole shadow palette on my jeans. That's fun. This is really easy because it's like the orange is a lot, but if you did a neutral, or if you did a color that you liked, or if you did a color that like matched what you're wearing, or a suit, or your top, or whatever, it's just like something to tie everything together, because the most interesting parts of fashion are the accessories that you wear, not usually the outfits that you wear. And I think makeup is just like an accessory at this point. Also, I haven't showered because I'm going to do that after this video, because I know I'm going to be covered in glitter. So sorry about that. My next look is pretty similar to the one that I just did. It just is like a little extra. It's a little bit more fun. Okay, I'm gonna go in with this shade. It's called Balloon Buddies. Who knows why? It's this one. It's just like kind of a burnt-y color. Let's see. No, I'm not going in with that color. Nope, never mind. Okay, so I'm actually gonna go in with this red color Buzz. It's like kind of a red. Fun fact, most reds are not actually red in vegan palettes because the red dye comes from, I think, crushed beetles. And so most of the time when you're getting like a vegan red shadow, it's actually like a really intense pink. So when you blend it out, it actually kind of turns pink. So kind of have to watch out for that. This one I just wore so I know it won't stain my eyes. But the way that I'm going to use this sucker is the same idea. I'm just going to press the shadow on the inside and on the outside of my eye, but not in like a cat eye shape. And then we're going to do something in the middle. So press it hard in like that. On the outer edge, like that. Take a brush. Like I just have a basic blending brush, which you can get some really cheap, great brushes on Amazon. Suggest doing that. And I'm literally just going to like kind of blend that around. Same thing where I'm going to go up to my eyebrow a little bit and over. I don't want to go in because in is going to pinch this part of your nose, and most of the time it makes your eyes look sunken in. And that can work for a certain look, but not for this one. From here, what you can do is you could just leave it like this. What I actually like to do is you can go two ways. You can go underneath your like lash a little bit to kind of connect all of it and get a little ooh. Or if that's too much, what you could actually do is take like a white or a cream color. Honestly, I would probably do a cream color if I were you, because that, I mean, it's not horrible. Once again, another glitter, and go right in the middle. So, I mean, this is definitely a little bit more of intense of a look, but I like it because the shape is not super snatched, but it does give a little bit of interest. You're doing a little something with your eye. You could leave it to one color, you could do two colors, you could do whatever you want in the middle. I'm just gonna get progressively like more irritated eyes through this. I'm also going to dinner in basically an hour, so I'm trying to pump this thing out. The third look is going to be a little bit more interesting. This is something I love doing. Absolutely got it from Euphoria. It's like, I watched that show and it broke my brain a little bit because I was like, why are we all not playing with makeup a little bit more? Why are we all not expressing ourselves in different ways? Because I understand, especially for like non-gender conforming people and just like more masculine dudes, it can be really difficult to jump that line between what we see as one gender expression and another. And makeup is definitely a way to do that. Because every time I've done these looks, like people always respond well, or they always think it's interesting, or, you know, it definitely starts a conversation and I feel comfortable wearing it. So hopefully what I learn, I can pass on to you guys. Okay, so the next look, we're going to take, I'm going to take that red. We're using red the whole time. I usually use red when I do makeup because it's a nice, like, bold color without really skewing either way. Like, when you're doing shadow palettes like this, great. Never spend much money. Go to, like, reputable brands like Morphe's well known. And if you want to go fancy, like Natasha Denona is well known, but you don't have to spend money for quality at this point. The next thing I'm actually going to take is this Danessa Myricks. It's the Color Fix Matte. These things, I have the white one and the black one, and they are amazing. This is like a gel, and so when it dries down, like, sweat does not remove it, water, like, it, you really have to go in with, like this is the 1 star Patrick Star oil makeup remover. It's amazing. All you gotta do is spray it on your face, rub in the makeup until it dissolves, and wash your face. But this stuff will not budge at all. And this might seem intense, but I swear it's pretty straightforward. You'll get good at it pretty quickly. If you want to like go a little extra, is I take this tiny little like detail brush. It's very, very small. I think it's for nail art. I got a pack of them for like $8 on Amazon for a couple of bucks. And they're really stiff, so it's great to do like line work with. And what I'm actually going to do is take this and I'm going to draw like kind of a check mark across my eye. So as you can see, like right now, it doesn't look great. Usually, I mean, you kind of have to put a lot of this pigment on and then like just be very consistent with your hand. It's a lot harder to do on the other side of my face, so I'm focusing on the right side right now, but it's supposed to kind of look like this. So what I'm going to do is keep applying this and just keep adding small layers one after another and getting the right shape. Okay, so it's not perfect, but makeup never is. Usually what I try and do with makeup, it's like so hard because everybody looks like they do it perfectly. If you stand a couple feet away from a mirror and you feel like you look good or things are symmetrical, that's basically the level that people are going to notice. Even when they stand closer to you, everybody's obsessed with themselves and they're not very detail oriented. And so for the most part, like, I would love to fix up this middle part of the line, but right now, and for the sake of time, it's good enough. You guys will get the gist. Okay, so I've made this line. The whole point is that I want people to be able to see it even when my eyes are like fully open. So I don't want to go into like the lid or the crease area because it gets mushy anyway. And when people are talking to you and your eyes are open, it kind of ruins the effect. I'll take this really light blue. Why not? It is, in this palette, it is Angel Kitty. It's going to be this color right here. I want it to pop because we're going to use two different colors. So I'm actually going to put the shadow above this liner in the space in between my eyebrow and the liner itself. So if you notice, I'm like really pressing to get the pigment on and I'm not dragging because my motor functions are not that good. So now I'm actually going to take the same exact brush and I'm going to go one shade darker or deeper to a different blue. And I'm only going, now that I have the blue everywhere, I'm only going to focus this blue right on the edge of the liner. So that way it kind of turns into a gradient of light to dark to white. So that way it really stands out. I mean, it's funny. I think that this is like non-feminine makeup, but you might think it's something totally different. It's just like Euphoria makeup for normal people. I mean, not even then. We're on to look number 4. I realize we're gonna have 5. Okay, also, do you see what I mean with this Danessa Myricks Color Fix fluid? They're so good, and they're like, that vial I've had, this like little squeeze tube I've had for a while, and I think it was like $18. I just rubbed my entire lid with a makeup remover wipe. They're still there. The next look I'm going to do, it was one of the first things I ever did when I was playing with makeup. I don't even know if I like this look anymore, but I figured I would show you guys. I have this little pot, and it's the Doodle Dee UV Hydra Fix Liner. But my favorite color in here is this UV orange color, because in like club lights, any blue light, any UV light is really going to make this pop. I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to draw like little tiny, almost sci-fi, I call them printer mark, like marks on my face. So instead of doing cat eyes and like circles and round shapes, I'm actually going to do pretty angular and like specific shapes. There's a couple that I've done where I do like arrows on the side of my eye. I'll do a dot, and a dot, like that trend a while ago. The one that I did the first time was I actually did like different stars or crosses underneath my eye. So when you were looking at me, you couldn't really tell because it's pretty light, but when the lights would flash, it would like flash all of the symbols or whatever underneath my eye, all the shapes. And this stuff is great, but it's definitely more watery than the Danessa Myricks one. Also, when I'm doing this and I'm drawing liner on my face, you really have to get good at both sides, but the easiest thing I do is I actually put like my finger on my face to steady my hand, and I try and get the brush as far away from my face so that way instead of the brush being angled, it's like straight on and the shapes will be consistent. I say that and then I literally didn't do that. So thankfully with these products, for the most part, when you mess up, you have like a little bit of time. Okay, so we're back. I filmed the entire video that you were seeing earlier and got done with it in time, made it to dinner, went to the Ben de la Creme and Jinx Christmas show, which I wasn't planning on doing. And when I came back to look at the footage, my camera stopped recording right when I was like applying the rest of this. And so I knew immediately I was going to have to redo it because I did finish this look and then I did another one that I wore to the rave last night and that I wore to dinner in the show tonight because I'd already done it. So I have audio from that, but I don't have video. And this can't be a podcast for like 1,000 reasons. It's like midnight now and I definitely need to wrap this up, but I've got one more look. So I basically just went ahead, did the shapes underneath the eyes. Hopefully this focuses, but you can kind of see like the shapes themselves. It looks so kooky crazy. I'll put a photo or like a video in that I have when I wore this when I went dancing. It was very fun flashing lights, all of it. It looks very cool. Okay, so I've cleaned up my face and powdered because I figured I'd be oily at the end of the day. And now I'm going to do the final look, which, like I said, it kind of combines everything that we've done so far. I'm going to take this handy dandy white liner and I'm going to apply, put X's on my eyebrows here and here where I basically shave them off. Oh, sorry, I just kicked my camera. We're going to do that, and then we're going to put the same red eyeshadow that I was using earlier where the X's meet, basically, to get them to pop, and then we'll put a darker color to really add some dimension to make it look a little bit more interesting. Okay, so I just put one of the lines on, and the way that I did it is I just, pushed the flat end of this tiny detail brush, into my face to get the line to kind of work. Okay, so I've done both of the lines, both of the X's. They're not bad. They're actually more symmetrical than... I've literally done this look twice already in the last 24 hours. Actually, in the last 24 hours. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this white because we'll need it later just a little bit. I'm going to wipe off my brush so it doesn't get crusty and dry. And then I'm going to take... So we're going back to this Acid Trip Lisa Frank palette. I'm going to go ahead and take this red that I was using earlier, so that way I'll go ahead and stamp it with just this flat angled brush. And then once I've done that, we can go ahead and swipe the color out and blend it a little bit more. I just use the stamping motions first because consistent motions with your hand are just easier, and then that way you can kind of focus on one thing at a time. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the same red and I'm just going to blend out these middle section so that way it's a little bit more red and a little bit more washed out. You guys, I'm just trying to think of all of the things that I said in the video earlier that now I'm gonna have to re-say to make my point, so fingers crossed this makes sense. But basically all I did was blend out the red. It's bigger, it takes up more space. I was pretty careful not to get any on the actual lid. There's some on the corner so that way it kind of looks like it's I got sock and bopped on the head or something. But now all I'm gonna do, take the same exact brush, going with a deeper shade, and I'll put that closest to the white so that way it's red to a darker color, or it deepens the red a bit and just creates more contrast. Boom. Okay, that is basically the look. I could go more, I could give it more contrast or go a little bit more intense if you wanted to, but at this point I've done this look so many times I'm kind of done with it. It's definitely more flashy eyeshadow without being super theatrical, I guess, or glittery and glitzy and glam. It's definitely makeup, but I don't think of this as glam, which is kind of interesting. I think really makeup is more of an accessory to an outfit, and accessories make the outfit. But yeah, this is the look. It is really fun. I just went in, added that deeper color, and then I redrew. I put the white back on, basically. I don't know how to say it. I hope you guys learned something from this. This is fun for me. I don't really know where this channel is going to go. If you guys are interested in more of this content, or you want me to try something or learn about something, let me know. I think this is really fun, and I've watched YouTube my whole life. So I figured I would throw a video out there that I didn't see myself. But if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, literally leave a comment why. I'm kind of curious. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much. Bye. I just put up my finger with the mirror. Bye. Stupid.